Hi, my name's Fred, and I'm gonna tell you how I walked in on my parents doing something outrageous when I came home from school early when I was 14 years old. So my parents and I have always been very close. I respected my mom and my dad equally. We all trusted each other without any secrets between us. At least that's what I thought until recently. Also, we love traveling. I feel absolutely delighted whenever we're crossing a river by a suspension bridge. It's so incredibly thrilling to watch the mountain river rolling under the bridge. It always makes me imagine the rope structure breaking down and all of us fighting for our lives. Now, I would definitely rush to rescue my mom. She's a woman, and as her son, I'm obliged to protect her. But I used to wonder why a fragile, porcelain-looking woman like my mom had no fear of heights at all. She really loved looking down. Once we left home for a whole week. We packed lots of food and warm clothes and we had lots of fun camping. We played water volleyball and tennis all day, away from the hectic urban life, slipping by the fire. I didn't miss the hot and stuffy city at all. The only thing that bothered me was the weird, frightening sounds I could hear at night. I slept in a separate tent, so I sometimes felt creeped out, but mom and dad had warned me not to disturb them or enter their tent after bedtime. Back home, I went out to play with other kids from our neighborhood. Each of them had their own story to tell about their summer break. But most of these stories sounded dumb or even inappropriate to me. I had to sit through one of the boys spinning the yarn about his parents doing very tasteless stuff. It wasn't pleasant to hear at all, and I definitely didn't want to suspect my own parents of doing these nasty things. I knew my parents as amazing and decent people, and I refused to even think otherwise. But then one day, I happened to come home from school early as some of the lessons got cancelled. Mom didn't meet me at the door like she normally did. Something fell off, but I figured I'd just go to my room and play some video games. I thought Mom was simply gone shopping or visiting a friend. But then I heard a weird noise from the room that startled me. There was rustling, then the voices of Mom and Dad whispering and laughing together. I knew they liked spending time alone to discuss adult matters, so I convinced myself it wasn't a big deal. However, those stories I'd heard from other kids in the yard were still haunting me, and I couldn't quite calm down. Then I heard Mom shrieking, and I froze dumbfounded. What was even happening there? Curiosity overwhelmed me, and I decided there was no harm in opening the door a crack and taking a peek with half an eye. I managed to do it without being noticed, and a very unusual sight presented itself before my half an eye. My dad was standing upright, holding Mom's legs over his shoulders. Mom was keeping her balance using just her arms. This incredible composition caught me off guard. I couldn't understand why they were doing this, and they were also dressed up in fantastic outfits I'd only seen at City Circus. Suddenly, the door was clanging to creak, my dad turned his startled face towards me, and then we were just gazing at each other in astonishment. I couldn't believe my own eyes. Are my parents really these amazing, talented gymnasts who had been keeping me in the dark about their circus mastery? I would never guess. I couldn't say a word until they finished their stunt and Mom leaped to her feet gracefully. I burst into applause. Mom and Dad looked confounded by my praise, but at the same time proud of keeping their skills after all these years. When we sat down for dinner later, I asked them a question. What's the deal with those skills and artistry and outfits? And this was how I learned they used to work at the circus as aerial gymnasts when they were young. It was their favorite job, and this was actually how they met each other when Mom started working at the circus after college. They didn't perform together at first, but then they clicked and started dating, and got married eventually. For several years, Mom and Dad toured in various cities together. Their audience loved them. The streets were decked with their posters. Every show was a sellout. Mom showed me old photos featuring them soaring beneath the big top. This was a nostalgic evening. Mom even teared up a little. But 3 years into their marriage, they had me and Mom had to quit her favorite job in order to raise me. Dad had to quit circus as well, since he couldn't risk his life anymore. Plus, the family needed a better source of income. So this is how we became a regular family. Dad made good money working as a sales manager in a local store. Mom learned to be an accountant, and when I was old enough to go to kindergarten, found a job in the planning department. I was so proud of them keeping their loving, trusting relationship throughout the years. And they kept their shared memories of the circus past and their job that they enjoyed doing together. I felt so happy to have a family like this. Of course, I was a little hurt that they'd been hiding their fascinating past from me, but mostly I just acted hurt. I could feel we'd become even closer. I even suggested they do circus again, but they just laughed it off, saying their muscles were long past their prime. So this is a story of my parents who sacrificed everything to be with me and with each other. Living for one's family is the true happiness after all. I really hope I'll find this kind of love, and I wish everyone the same. Do you guys want more episodes? Then press the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell. Want to see your own story? Then send them over to this email here.